Hello. So, yesterday I was like floored, exhausted. I think I slept a good portion of the day. Then my brain wanted to work towards the end of the day when I was supposed to be sleeping, and I'm like, come on, no, don't start this again. But it's been days of thoughts and creative ideas and patterns, and I don't know if any of you understand if you go through the same thing where you just want to tell yourself, shh, it's quiet time. And yourself is like, no, it's time to talk and plan and do. And you're like, okay, it's not going to stop. Because I'm laying in bed listening to my sleep frequencies, determined I'm going to go to sleep. And all I could hear was love and happiness. That's what everybody wants. We all want the same thing, love and happiness. Then Al Green starts playing in my head. And I'm like, come on, we can do this tomorrow. And it's funny how that happens, because it's the universe talking to you. When you have things that are going through your mind that are not chaos and drama and, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. And oh my God, they're treating me like that. And when it's the negative side, that's your ego keeping you awake. That's kind of the devil whispering in your ear, compared to when, like I said, you have creative ideas, you have business plans, you have things that are meant to propel you forward. That is spirit, in a sense. That's the universe talking to you. That's God, however you view it. It is a higher power that's trying to help guide you. That's like, here's your path. This is where you wanted to be, right? You wanted to create generational wealth. You wanted to become self-sustainable. You asked for this. I'm just giving you the tools. And you got to learn to pay attention. It's hard because the world is so noisy and we have so many outside interactions that tend to affect us. And then, of course, exhaustion. Most of y'all probably work like I work. By the end of the day, you're like, can I just not? Can we just go back to the Wild West? Can we go back to the land rush age where if I can stay here and not move, I can have it. It's mine. I would love to go back there. But either way it goes, if you're having these things start to happen to you, you still have to remember it's okay to lay down and rest. Like I said yesterday, I slept a good portion of the day. And the old me would have been like, oh my God, you're so lazy. You didn't accomplish anything. The new me is like, I'm learning. I'm learning to relax and not feel like I've wasted a day. I see it as regenerating. I see it as it's necessary. Just like when you have your computer, it has to reboot sometimes. It has to go offline. It has to get new information put into it, updated, right? So we have to realize that we ourselves are the most sophisticated computer in this world. We learn and grab and see and hear and do, and we mock in a way. And I don't mean that in a sense that we pick and make fun. I mean it as a charades. We are recreating that which we see. Thing is, we got to learn to do that wisely. But if I use that and apply it to the beginning of this, we all want one thing or the same things. It's love and happiness. And with that, you can add respect. There's been so many people that I had to place boundaries with. And one of those boundaries is you're going to respect me. And if you don't make me happy, toodles. If you don't show me reciprocal love, I'm not going to waste my time. We all have to realize that relationships, no matter if they're platonic, familial, romantic, they require give and take. Any interaction in this world, for it to be an interaction, requires give and take. Now you have to ask yourself, are you giving the same quality as you are getting? Because in reality, people want quantity, not quality. That's in everything in life, right? But when it comes down to it, when you're looking at that love and that love that creates happiness, you want quality, not quantity. Because, of course, we all want a mass of it, abundance of it. But it's still the fact that if you're not getting quality, what's the point in having it? It's like putting the wrong fuel into your system, knowing it's going to gunk it up and destroy it. That's something that you've got to consider of what you're intaking and how it's affecting you, because the outcome is going to greatly be affected by what you're accepting. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I love myself, I stand up for myself, I don't let no one step on me. And that's the attitude that you hear. And those same people will be like, I don't need no love, I don't give a shit, I'm happy. You can read it all over your face, you're ecstatic. But that is a defense mechanism. I have a friend that I was texting with the other night, and he said something to me, and I retorted in a joking manner, and I said, sorry, that's my defense mechanism. And then he goes, I know. I've known him for quite a long time, and he's gotten to know how I am as a person. I still have triggers. I still have things that affect the way that I'm going to interact with people. And it's something I'm still overcoming. But after decades of abuse, it's kind of what happens. Especially when there's no therapist. And honestly, I can't go to a therapist because they can't tell me how I feel. They can't pull up all my baggage and sit it on the table and go, okay, here's what you need to sort through. And I'm not condemning anybody that goes to therapy. If it works for you, great. I'm glad that it's working for you. Because some people need that guidance to get it out. But the more that you raise your vibration, you can start to see the signs and synchronicities around you. You can start to see your true therapist, your spirit guides. And I'm not saying you see them and they're like, come this way, it's over here. It's not like that. It's intuitive noises. It's intuitive nudges. It's music on the radio. It's numbers. It's certain things that come out of someone's mouth, or almost deja vu moments. There's things that happen that make you go, huh. It's like when you speak to an animal, and that animal, my dog does this regularly. If I say, do you want, she's got a few words in her mind that she's waiting on, and she's like, treat, walk, what? You want to give me something that will make me happy? I love that. So we all, whether we realize it or not, we have that animal instinct in us. And that's the thing that we sit there and we're waiting. Spit it out. What were you going to say? I'm listening. I'll do whatever you want. Any of those things. Tell me my favorite things. And we don't even understand. But when we perk up and go, yes, I would do that. I would love that. That would make me happy. It's that notion of something that's exciting. But the thing is, when we sit in anticipation, it's like waiting for the kettle to boil. It's watching and waiting, and it just pushes further and further away. And I've had to tell myself for the last week, stop focusing on certain things. The past is the past. The future is the future. Like I stated before, if you're focusing on the past, then more than likely you're going to be depressed. If you're focusing on the future, you're going to feel fear and desperation and need and all these lower vibrational feelings. When you focus on the here and the now, that's where you can find love and happiness. Even if it's watching a kid that's cracking up and you're looking around like, what are they laughing at? But their laughter becomes contagious. Their smile is something that makes you go, oh, and it lightens the load of your energy, your heart, the way that you feel. Because a lot of times we can look at children and it's easy to find the bad in them, right? Some days they're just loud and screaming and off the chain. They're regular human beings. We all have moments where we break down. Just as adults, few of us do that in public. You don't see an adult lay on the ground and, but I want the pickles! I want the candy! Life could be interesting if we did. I I myself have thought I want to throw myself down on the ground, throw a fit, and see if I get $1,000,000. It's not going to happen. More than likely, I'll be escorted off the premises and asked to not return, right? It's funny, children get away with things that adults are supposed to no longer entertain. The reality is we all have breakdowns. And a lot of times we have those breakdowns because we want the same things. We want love, we want happiness, we want security, we want respect. We want to be seen, we want to be heard. These are the things that make us human. They make us feel real. They make us get to evolve into a higher form of ourselves. And when that's not being reciprocated by the people you're around, you have to learn to distance yourself and be okay with that distance. That's the hard part at first. But the more that you do that, they no longer speak at you, and you can look yourself in the mirror and go, I love you. You're my best friend. I know I let you down. I know that in the past, I let people walk all over us. I know that I was fearful. I know that I allowed their judgment to misguide me. And you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore because you're the most valuable thing in the world to me because you're me. You have to realize you're speaking to a different version of yourself that is kind of tucked in the corner inside of you because of all the things that you've been told that you shouldn't be, that are wrong. How you're hurting everything around you when you're not even making anything wrong. There's a lot of people, and we have to realize that the people that talk at us and speak negatively to us, they are projecting. Learn this. Hold it in your heart that when somebody is speaking ill to you about you, they are projecting themselves onto you. How they feel about themselves. And I've made videos about this. You can understand where somebody is mentally in their life because of the way that they will speak to you. I found myself doing it. And when I found myself doing it to someone I was dating or even my children, I used to look at my kids and be like, stop doing that. Stop. That is so... Okay, little Sheena. And I'd have to laugh it off. But then I would have to learn to help them alter the behavior by altering my own behavior. And by saying, okay, that's kind of annoying. If they're annoying me, I wonder what it's like when I do it around other people. Because that's another thing. The world is perturbed. It's because everybody wants that security. Everybody wants that comfort in life to where they're not worried about paycheck to paycheck. Oh God, the bills are coming again. Because it's a good feeling, even if you don't have $1,000,000 in the bank, but when the bills are coming and you can go, okay, they're covered. Hey, and we still got a little extra money. We can go out to eat, right? We can go to the bowling alley. We can go to the skating rink because yes, even as an adult, I still like to go in circles on wheels. It's good for you. It's good to tap in to that part of you that is youthful. That part that helps you to have the inspiration to continue to grow and to want to feel the wind in your hair and just a smile on your face. We don't see enough of that in this world anymore. And it's because people aren't being seen. People are not being heard. People feel like they're being put down. But when you feel like someone's putting you down, that's because you're going, here's my power, tell me about me. So remember once again, when it comes to you, nobody can define you. Don't overthink things with logic, because things that are impossible are very possible. It's a matter of how big are you willing to dream? How much effort are you willing to put into it? How many sleepless nights are you willing to entertain? You know, I've been bombarded by my neighbors, and I've always noticed when I go outside, they come outside. I'm like, oh, I just want some time. I want a little me time. And it's that time for me is to be in nature, and it is to write, and it is to tap into that higher power. But at the same time, I indulge them because they want that feeling of love. They want that feeling of being seen and heard. And my friend that's dealing with stage 4 cancer, she actually, when I met her and when she was going through it, she was so negative about it. And I thought, she's not going to make it. Because when you hear that you have an illness, the way that you enter into it is going to tell you if you're going to make it or not. If you're negative, you're pulling yourself down. If you can be positive and optimistic and look at the situation, you're giving yourself a better chance. Because you can go in saying, it's like driving a car. Oh, if I get in that car, I'm going to wreck it anyways. More than likely, you're going to get in an accident. But if you get in that car and, oh, it makes me feel comfortable, I'm safe, and you can tell yourself all the reasons of why it's great for you, then all of a sudden, it's like you're floating on air, right? You're cautious, you pay attention, you use that signal, you turn in, you just go in, and you get to point A to point B with ease. So with her numbers are actually dropping. Her cancer is going away. And what she has is incurable. So even the doctors are like, surprisingly, this is working. And surprisingly, she's doing as well as she's doing. So if we can look at the concept that somebody who has an illness and stage 4 is close to the end, but they can still be optimistic. They can still maneuver in life and take care of themselves. Because that's one thing about her. She is very adamant that she's not going to let everybody do everything for her. And I admire that. That is strength in somebody beyond anything I can imagine. So remember that your mindset is the one thing that's going to either help or hinder you in your path. And when you can learn, like I said, that people talking at you, telling you about you, they're telling you about them. Because they don't know you. Don't take their words personally, because we all have a bad day. I've had days where I've looked at people and I said, fuck you, leave me alone. And they look at me like, you're never like this. Never say never. Because there's some days that we're all like that and we keep it inside and we plaster on a smile. But you can't go through life with a fake smile on your face. We have to at some point get real and genuine. If you want to spit venom, spit venom. At least warn people about who you are. Because if you can go around spitting venom and wearing a smile and a false mask, you're the predator. You're the person that you can't dig deep and do the work to heal yourself, to genuinely love and feel respected. And a lot of times it's because there is a lack of love and respect. But the thing is, we all have different love languages. We have to learn when someone's trying to love us. And we have to learn how others need to be loved. You can't feed a goldfish cow food. You can't feed it the corn. That seems to be the new kind of food that we feed cows. They don't eat grass anymore. But when it comes down to it, you can't give something that can't be utilized to something that can't utilize it and expect it to grow, thrive, and survive. And the same goes with us in human form. We're all variations of each other. You know, we learned that we're very, very similar, even with everything in the world around us. But it's that little minute difference that means we require an adjustment. And that adjustment that each one of us requires, when we can tap into that for ourselves, that's where we can set boundaries and go, no, that's not going to work for me. That might have worked for them. Oh, and it worked perfect? Good. That's not going to work for me. It's like if you have a audio learner compared to a visual learner, and then you have the one that needs the hands-on. You have some that need all of it. And honestly, most of us all need it. We need to hear what's being said. We need to see show me. Oh, and I get to try it while you watch? That's called being taught. So remember, in this world, you're teaching the next generation how, what, all kinds of ideas. They can figure out the why on their own because the why really isn't necessary. But how do you do this? I mean, you could ask yourself, why would I do this? Oh, that's what I need. And that's where logic does play in. But there's got to be a balance between logic and heart. The mind and the heart have to learn to make things make sense. And when things can start to make sense, hey, you got the ball rolling. Then you can actually start moving through life and find, hey, not only do I deserve love, happiness, respect, security, I don't just deserve it, I have it. And when you have it, that's when you become a force to be reckoned with. That's when you leave people going, what do they have that I don't have? It's called being comfortable with yourself. Learn to do that. And learn to not accept less than what you deserve. And you deserve the world. You deserve to smile, breathe, relax. Sleep all day if you want. On that note, hopefully I've reminded you of your power, your worth, and that you are very, very lovable. Peace, love, and light. Bye.